The next case is Dexter Austin Apartments
So what that means that
is versus Bithia
You got
Nara
to pay
Velasquez
$1,000
and
bids.
Arturo Rodriguez. Who's here on behalf of Dexter?
I'm here, Your Honor. Yasmin, the Dexter.
Yasmin, okay. And is Bithia Velasquez or Arturo Rodriguez here?
They did not check in during check-in time, but Ms. Velasquez did say that they were planning on being here.
Well,
Or they're trying to log on.
They're trying to log on?
Yes, but that was almost an hour ago. If Ms. Rodriguez, so if that's you on the phone, you'll push *6 to unmute.
Let's pause here for a moment because things are about to get very interesting. The defendant was having trouble unmuting herself during the hearing, so the judge moved on to another matter. The plaintiff then tried to help her reconnect so they could finally deal with the eviction case. The strange part is that the plaintiff and defendant are about to end up in the same room at the same time. And trust me, the situation is about to take a turn you probably won't expect.
We've got Dexter Austin versus John Adame and Melissa Baker. Is that you, Miss Yasmin?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you were previously sworn. The rent is $10.13, is that right?
Correct.
And you just want July prorated at $9.80, is that correct?
Yes and no. Their lease contract expired on the 24th of this month of July.
Okay.
They're still current. Hold on. I'm sorry, somebody's here screaming. Oh, I think Bithia's here. Hold on. She's Bithia. Oh, no. We're not doing that. We're on court right now. Give me 1 second.
No, you are she already dismissed my case.
She did not dismiss your case. The reason
Okay, tiene que yo te voy a esperar una pinche hora.
Okay.
Una pinche hora.
Give me a second.
Don't be fucking like that.
I was not. You were not on the phone.
I was on the fucking phone. Do you need fucking?
Okay. You have to give.
Aquí tome, aquí.
Okay. Do you want to go and log in? Because you're literally online.
I can't fucking log in.
Okay.
I can't log in.
Bithia, you have to call. You have
Yo
to.
llamé una mira. Aquí te voy a enseñar.
Tell her to go try the phone number again, Miss.
Una pinche hora.
Do you hear the judge? Bithia, do you hear the judge? She's telling for you to log in.
Velasquez.
I can't.
Miss Velasquez.
Call me and I will.
Now you understand what I was talking about. I told you this was something you probably had never seen before. And somehow, it still isn't over.
Try the phone number again.
Mira, una pinche hora. Wait, mira.
Look, listen.
Mira, 54 minutes. Right here.
Miss
54 minutes. I was waiting.
I understand. We tried to message
I can't log in. They didn't give me the passcode. They gave me the fucking.
There's no passcode. You just need the. Can you try again and we'll let you in right away?
Don't dismiss.
The what? You're on live, by the way.
I know I'm on live.
Miss
And I've been 54 minutes.
She
on this
told
fucking case. 54 minutes.
I
Almost
know.
an hour.
Can you try? Can you call again and we'll let you right in? Okay.
They didn't give me the password. They gave me the passcode.
There's no password.
They didn't know.
Look, look, just dial right here. Look, dial this number.
Tell her to dial the number and we'll let her in.
There's no reason.
There's no
Mamacita,
reason.
mira, mi amor.
I
Mira,
understand.
55 minutes. That was
That's how you
55 minutes. Like, really, look. For real. Que no me encarone. Que no me encarone.
I'm sorry.
Yo me calmé.
Hold on.
We have 3 more cases, right, Miss Yasmin?
I'm sorry, I can't hear you, Your Honor. It's just that I have her in the office and I cannot hear you. I'm sorry. We were going based on John Adame's case,
No,
and
go
then
back to Velasquez.
hold on. John Adame, actually, their lease contract expired on the 24th of this month.
So
They
that
have
would
not,
be $784?
correct,
Okay.
which is their prorated amount plus this amount for the remaining of the month. They have not yet also paid the rents previous. Sorry, Your Honor. They have not paid a little bit of their June rent as well, so I'm trying to grant possession of the
No.
unit.
Que go back to my case, and I'll come to the judge. Porque a mí ni siquiera me dieron el pinche paso. 50-50.
Yes, I want to get possession of this unit of John Adame and
Mira,
Melissa.
Marisa, mira.
Okay, is there any left owing in June?
For the month of June, it's $213, Your Honor.
Okay. So it's 997 is what
Correct.
owed. Okay.
Yes,
And the appeal bond is 2026.
correct.
Okay. So we've got Dexter versus Jonathan Rodriguez.
Yes, for Jonathan Rodriguez, he has not paid for the month of July, which is this month.
Right.
Lease
I just heard her and her.
lease contract expired July the 3rd of this month of this year.
Okay.
Their rent is 1,335, so I'm asking for 1,335 along with late fees and judge
I can
court
just
costs.
give you the background.
Correct. Yes.
So,
Okay, so I need you to just have a seat and we're gonna go ahead and
Okay,
call.
well, cuando yo estaba hablando, when I was talking, I was like, hello, can
Lydia.
you hear me? I was almost an hour. Aquí está, in the record. Almost an hour.
Yeah, you wanna take a seat?
You have one have a seat and then she can go ahead and give you a call. You can go ahead and.
No.
Yeah, Judge,
You're gonna-
I think she was the phone number, and I called out to push *6 to unmute.
Did you
a
hear
few
she said-
times.
I'm sorry, say that
No.
again?
If you're calling in through the phone number, you push *6 to unmute, and I repeated that a few times before we started the case.
You heard that, Vidya?
I
so
heard
we can
that.
unmute.
I didn't hear that before. My fault.
Mhm.
She definitely said something, although you may not have heard it clearly. After that, the defendant left the office. She was eventually evicted from her apartment for failing to pay the rent, and fortunately, there were no further problems. Now, let's move on to the next hearing. This one involves Judge Shackleford dealing with a defendant who allegedly harmed someone else and then tried to portray himself as the victim in court.
This is the People versus Christopher Moore. I have misdemeanor files 241722, 241589, 241136, and then we have a felony file. This is 241796 FY appearances.
Morning, Your Honor. Jeffrey Janto on behalf of Mr. Moore. As to the state cases, we've waived formal reading, asked for warrants to be recalled. As of the city case, that's set for pre-trial on the 5th, and request would waive formal reading and stand mute.
Okay, so as to 241796 FY, the felony case, this is a charge of home invasion, third, and domestic violence. Mr. Moore, you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say orally or in writing can and will be used against you in a court of law. You have the right to an attorney, and you have a right to have that attorney present during any future questioning and any future court hearings. In the event you can't afford an attorney, one will be appointed to represent you. You have 2 court dates within the next 21 days. Your first court date is your probable cause conference, which you can appear at via Zoom, and that is set for August 26th of 2024. Following that, on September 9th of 2024, you will have your preliminary examination. At that examination, the prosecutor will have to show that a crime was committed and probable cause exists to charge you with that crime. With respect to the remaining 3 cases, we have a state of Michigan versus Christopher Moore on 1136. State of Michigan versus Christopher Moore on 241589, and then we have a City of Taylor case 241722, and that's the B&E. As to all of those, the warrants have been set aside. They'll be set for pre-trials.
Judge, I would note Ms. Moynihan is on, I would just ask that the two, misdemeanor state cases be set for the 26th as well.
The misdemeanor state case be set for
Yes.
is the 26th, so that's a Monday?
That's the same day you set for the PCC.
Oh, okay, so we'll just
And
have them
the
all?
same parties.
All right.
Then the state, or the city case, I think is September 5th, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, there's a date of September 5th on that one. And then Ms. Moynihan, all three of the felony matters, then when we come in for the arraignment, or I'm sorry, the probable cause conference on August 26th, we'll just have those two misdemeanor files follow the felony. Now, as to bond. Ms. Moynihan, is there anything you have to say as to bond?
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you. Tina Moynihan on behalf of the people, P84-692. Judge, we were in court on Monday. I was there as the prosecutor covering the docket for Ms. Sob and Ms. Davidova, and Mr. Moore was supposed to appear for an arraignment. He did appear by Zoom momentarily and then disappeared. He would not speak with Mr. Gizicki. With my understanding, Mr. Gizicki attempted to have conversations to proceed with the arraignment. And then Mr. Moore decided to log off before the case was ever called. My understanding, he then contacted the courthouse and spoke to a clerk downstairs and made threats to the court that if he came up to the courthouse, that something was going to happen to people in the courthouse.
I have to wonder whether this defendant realized that calls to the courthouse can be recorded or monitored. You can't simply call the court, make serious threats, and expect there to be no consequences because you don't want to appear and face your charges. And there's more. The court is about to explain exactly what threats were made and why they considered this defendant to be a serious danger.
And then it was also my understanding of speaking with the complainant who appeared by Zoom that there was an incident from the night prior, which would have been Sunday night. In that incident, Judge, there has been a warrant requested. I am in the process of reviewing that this morning. The allegations there are that the defendant broke into the complainant's home again overnight, forced his way into the home. He then adjusted cameras throughout the home that the complainant had so that he could not be observed. He's seen wearing all black, a hoodie, as well as a mask covering a portion of his face. He then enters the complainant's bedroom. He pulls a gun from his pocket and then shows that to the complainant, claiming that her fingerprints were on that gun and putting her in fear of an altercation ensuing. Further from that, he's then seen leaving the location by the complainant and heading out in an unknown direction. My understanding is that he's been staying across the street at the home across the street from her residence. And I believe that that is also going to be considered a violation of his bond that's been issued, that he's had no contact with the complainant, that he's not returned to that residence. And then there's allegations of new criminal activity. In addition, Judge, to his failure to stay in court until the case was called on Monday, I do believe that Mr. Moore is a danger to the complainant as well as to the public as a whole. He shows a wholesome inability to comply with the court's orders. I would be asking for a $250,000 cash surety bond, no 10% with a GPS tether and house arrest if he were to be released. And I would ask that there be a 2-mile radius from the complainant's residence so that he's not to return to that area.
The defendant did appear for the Zoom hearing, but then he left before his case was even called. That alone created another problem. Then the court revealed something even more serious. The night before, he had allegedly gone to the complainant's home with a firearm and threatened her with physical harm. If you want an example of how to turn an already serious legal situation into an even bigger disaster, this was certainly one way to do it.
Anything, Mr. Fanto?
Well, I guess we have allegations that I don't know that the court should take into consideration relative bond as these cases stand. However, I would note that Mr. Moore does have some serious medical issues. At least if we could mark the files medical so that Wayne County knows. He is on SSI.
Okay. don't think there's, the things I'm to take into consideration is whether or not he's a danger to the community. He's a lengthy criminal history. His behavior in this court has been absolutely egregious. Since these cases have started, he has assaultive criminal convictions. He clearly does not have any issue ignoring court orders. He is certainly a danger to Miss Butcher as well as the community at large. He's certainly a flight risk. He was already in immediate warrant status on one of the domestic violence charges on August 5th when he failed to appear for court. We've had a separate case where he had an immediate bench warrant on two different dates, both June 13 and August 5th, for failing to appear at court. He's now got pending against one complaining witness, 2 domestic violence cases, 3 domestic violence cases, a B&E and a home invasion. There's an allegation that a firearm was used in one of those instances. There was a police report filed. Detectives had to come over to the court Monday after there were allegations that Mr. Moore called the court, was extremely volatile with court staff. And Ms. Moynihan, the language was that he was going to come up to the court and commit a massacre. That's the allegation of what he was screaming at court staff.
According to the information presented in court, he threatened mass violence if he was forced to appear in person. That is hardly the kind of behavior that helps someone prove they are innocent. At this point, the people of Taylor, Michigan, can at least feel safer knowing that he is already in custody. And Judge Shackleford made it clear that she was not prepared to ignore the danger he allegedly posed.
So I have to agree with you entirely. Mr. Moore is a danger to the community. Mr. Moore is a flight risk. Mr. Moore has shown absolutely zero respect for the criminal justice system, the legal system, or the safety of his own child that resides with Miss Butcher. He will have a $250,000 cash or surety bond with a GPS tether with a 2-mile radius of complaining witnesses home. The file will be marked medical. Mr. Moore, you're to appear in court as directed. You're not to leave the state without permission of the court. You're not to commit any new crimes while released. You're to immediately notify the court of change of address or phone number. You're to have no contact with Miss Butcher. And a matter of fact, you can't not only go to her home, you can't go on her street. These are on the felony case. These are the bond conditions set for 1796 FY. You are not to possess or have access to firearms. You cannot purchase or access or consume alcohol or illegal drugs. On misdemeanor, I've also signed the request for a court-appointed attorney to ensure that Mr. Moore has counsel at all future proceedings, and that's in the file. As to the 3 misdemeanor files, each of these files will have a $10,000 cash surety bond with a GPS.
Top of 250,000.
No, that's plus, so it's 280,000 altogether.
Hey, ma'am. If I can say something when you are done, please just let me know.
Mr. Moore.
Mr. Moore, you have a.
Prefer you not.
Yeah, Mr. Moore, you have a constitutional right to remain silent. Given the amount of hot water you're in right now, I would strongly encourage you to follow the advice of your counsel.
We've had pretrial services relative to the felony.
I will request a DSU report at counsel's request on the felony. Is there anything else?
Yes, can I say one thing, please?
Mr. Moore, your attorney is advising you not to say a thing.
I understand that. I'm asking, please. Would that be okay?
I would prefer you not, Mr. Moore.
I understand that, I respect that, but this is my life in the balance and me ever seeing my kid So I would like to say something.
If you care about staying out of jail and protecting your future freedom, this is the moment when you should probably stop talking and listen to your lawyer. His attorney was trying to explain that continuing to make statements was unlikely to help his situation. Yet he continued speaking and making matters worse. At this stage, there was very little he could say that would improve his position.
I understand what this looks like. I understand that you guys are upset. I understand that I didn't show up and advise to every court ruling because I've had bad experience with the judicial system. That's not an excuse, but at the same time, it is the truth of what I'm saying. I have documentation showing, and I've called the courts. I called the detective. I called the domestic violence. I recorded them. And,
Mr. Moore, listen. Mr.
I
Moore, I
understand.
appreciate all of that. I want to be clear, given your history at this court
Truth
and
not
what's
being
happened
told by her.
recently, there is absolutely nothing that you can say that will change my bond on this case. Nothing.
How about her
Nothing.
conspiring to commit murder on me?
So
and I haven't
what
acted
will
for it?
happen is your attorney has requested a DSU, and I've granted that DSU request. So the Michigan Department of Corrections will meet with you, and if they find a bond modification is appropriate, they will issue a recommendation to this court. I'm not so inclined, or I don't know that I would even necessarily follow their recommendation, but I will certainly look at it and take it into consideration.
Ask her
And I
what-
marked the file medical.
Thank you,
She
Judge.
don't have,
All right.
but she's into a 1% of motorcycle club.
All right, thank you. We're all set. Thank you over at the jail.
Thank
Thank you, Judge.
At this point, it was difficult to see why the court should grant him any significant pretrial freedom. He had shown very little respect for the court and blamed his behavior on previous experiences with the legal system. The judge also had to consider whether he was a flight risk. Instead of allowing his attorney to handle the argument, he continued speaking for himself and even attempted to blame the actual victim for what had happened. Based on the allegations and his behavior, Judge Shackleford determined that releasing him could create a serious risk to both the community and the alleged victim. So, the decision was made. He would remain in custody. And that brings us to the end of this video. Thanks for watching all the way through. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe with notifications turned on so you don't miss the next courtroom story.